So I went on NBA.com to see which games were available to watch, and it was a no-brainer, guys. I had to watch the Grizzlies-Suns game. It was just so full of storylines. It was the perfect game for me to watch. And obviously we saw Ja Morant hitting yet another game-winning shot under the rim. I mean, this guy can do anything he wants there and not be stopped. But there was a photograph during another play in crunch time of that game that caught my attention.
The clock is running down, so Suns got to give it about 8 good seconds of defense here.
Adams on the roll, finds Bane in the corner. Another one.
Wow.
You guys seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail. I hope I did a great job at convincing you that this video is worth your while, guys. There's so much history here, okay? I don't think you guys understand how much history there is in this one picture. There's so much I could just chew on right now. It's gonna take me about 10 minutes to do so. Let's first talk about Desmond Bane, who's shooting the ball. If it wasn't for him, the Suns would have probably won this game. He was killing them with threes, making 3 of his 6 threes in the 4th quarter, which accounts for every single made basket from behind the arc for the Grizzlies in that 4th quarter. And it's no secret how much of a threat he is from the 3-point line, as guys usually fly out of the screen when they close out on him. And already into his sophomore year, he made history by being the 6th player ever to make over 200 3-pointers while shooting at a clip of over 40% in his first 100 games. But don't get it twisted though. He is a multifaceted offensive threat. He has a great smooth touch when he hits those floaters, and he's by far their best free throw shooter, shooting at over 93.5% from the line. His shooting splits are absolutely godly. I mean, he shoots over 47.1% field goal overall, with a 42.9% 3-point field goal and a 87.4% career free throw. He is the only player in his draft class to have a shooting split of at least 40, 40, 80, and he was picked 30th in the first round. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. It's not just that though, he's doing this whilst also leveling himself up in terms of volume. He's taken almost twice as many shots per game as he did in his rookie year, and he's leveled up his averages, okay, averaging from 11 points in his rookie year to 17 points per game now. And after he spent the first month of the season shooting 6 percentage points lower from the 3-point line, he then went on over a stretch where he shot the ball at over 6 percentage points higher than his rookie average, which leveled his percentages out to 42% once again. There's so much to love about the kid on offense, and his defense is not too shabby either. He can stop some guys despite having a wingspan of 6'4". You pair his shooting up with Ja Morant's rim dominance, I mean, that is a recipe for disaster on the backcourt. But now, we have to talk about efficiency, as if we couldn't get enough of that with Desmond Bane. There's another guy in the picture, if you can see here on the left side. Yeah, that's Brandon Clark. I don't know if you guys know this. Despite not being active for the team over the last couple of weeks, he did get to play a couple of minutes against Phoenix. He is now in his 3rd year in the NBA, and despite not having as many minutes as he used to have in his career, and despite not shooting the free ball that well this season, his shooting from the field is much of the same than it was during his historic rookie year. Being in the same draft class as his teammate Ja Morant and then Zion Williamson, you could easily see how his rookie season was overshadowed by those two. But many question why Kendrick Nunn was named finalist for Rookie of the Year but not Brandon Clark. Because not long ago, Brandon Clark, with him shooting an effective field goal percentage of 64.2%, was the most efficient rookie in NBA history to take at least 8 shots per game, okay? He was the first rookie ever to shoot over 60% from the field and 35% from behind the arc on any, and I mean any sample size you can imagine. He was also second to Ja Morant in win shares for the Memphis Grizzlies during that year. And although he was on thin ice during his sophomore year, over the games he has played, he's been shooting close to his historical field goal percentage, and the reason why it's slightly lower is because the 3-point shooting just isn't there again. Oh, and did I mention he's the only player in NBA Summer League history to receive both the championship game MVP and the tournament MVP? What? What'd you say? You don't care? Well, I do, because he's Canadian, and as a fellow Canadian, it is my duty to hype any Canadian up, okay? You know what? My duty also extends to the comment section, by the way, so any Canadians out there, write up a lengthy comment about where you're from, what city, what province you're from, and tell me details about it that only somebody from that city would know. Don't dox yourself though. And I'll make sure to pin the first comment I see, and bonus points if you like poutine. Let's get back to the video now. As we head now to the right side, we're beginning to not get into very legendary territory, guys. Because that is indeed Chris Paul closing out on Desmond Bane as he shoots the three-pointer. And Chris Paul, let's just say he deserves a video of his own for the things he's done in the history of the NBA. And since we're already almost at the 6-minute mark of the video, I'm going to have to cram things up as I'm in a little bit of a hurry. Okay, so where to start? Since we're at the 6-minute mark now, I can talk about Chris Paul's assists. Yeah, he leads the league in assists per game currently this season at 10 assists a game. And that in itself isn't historical. It's not even a new thing for Chris Paul. He's been doing this for years now. As a matter of fact, he did it 5 times. Now, if you're wondering if that's the historical mark, no. Westbrook and Oscar Robertson already did it 5 times, and John Stockton actually has twice as many seasons with over 10 assists a game as Chris Paul, so that's going to be hard to beat. Chris Paul does average over 9.4 assists a game throughout his career, so I'm pretty sure that's historical, right? John Stockton has the most assists per game and assist overall in history. Okay, let's look at something else. Oh! Steals! Oh my goodness, Chris Paul is one of 6 players averaging 2 steals a game. Actually, he's been averaging over 2 steals a game throughout his career, and he's 5th all-time in steals. But that is not historical in itself, right? I mean, Gary Trent Jr. and DeJounte Murray have more steals a game this season, and then you have John Stockton and Michael Jordan having more steals per game in their careers, and Gary Payton and Jason Kidd had more steals all time than him, so it's not really a historical feat being achieved here. I worked tirelessly to come up with that thumbnail, and I'm not going to let it go to waste. I have to find something. Oh, I gotta have to figure this out right now. Okay, oh, wait. Guys, he has over 20,000 points all time, and he has over 10,000 assists. He is the only player ever to achieve that. Oh my goodness, guys, I feel so good now. And with over 2 minutes to spare, you'd think there's no way he can continue this video. And well, you're just wrong, because Chris Paul is that good of a player that a lot of the things he does is historical, and I've made sure to write this down on a piece of paper. Because it's no secret that as a point guard that passes the ball a lot, it means that you're going to have the ball in your hands a lot. And which means you're going to turn over the ball a lot as well. But surprisingly for Chris Paul, relative to his peers, he hasn't really turned over the ball that much. Chris Paul has the highest assist to turnover ratio amongst the top 10 players in both assists per game and assists all time. If you throw in every season a player averaged over 10 assists a game, Chris Paul's name appears 4 times, which is more than anybody else in the top 10 assist to turnover ratios in the season. Although those are historical feats, he's not number 1 on that list. He's number 2, and he did it when he was in the Hornets. Now, Muggsy Bogues was number 1 on that list, and he also did it in the Hornets. Now his assist to turnover ratio was at a high 5.94. I mean, that's just historical. So historical, in fact, that it stood for the highest assist to turnover season in NBA history until somebody else broke it. Not Chris Paul, not Muggsy Bogues. Yes, we're going to have to go to the left side of this picture now to get to a mighty Tyus Jones. That's right, folks. Tyus Jones, a bench player for the Memphis Grizzlies, a player that began his career in Minnesota, went on to have a season with the highest ever assist to turnover ratio at 6.96. The first time ever a player that was qualified had an assist to turnover ratio of over 6. And with less than 10 seconds left on my shot clock, I'm gonna drop you this bomb. Tyus Jones currently has the career best assist to turnover ratio in the history of the NBA with 4.93. My time is up. That was it. My video is done. I can now go to sleep, rest up, and I'll be sure to pin that comment. Okay, Canadians, go to work. Show how proud you are of being a Canadian, because I sure am, baby. I sure am. People usually do this in the middle of a video, but I thought to myself, let's do it at the end, because those who watch the whole thing through are most likely to do it. Please subscribe, it'll be great. I'll aim for some ridiculous goal as well. Okay, 350 subscribers. Yeah, get me there. If you guys get me there, oh my goodness, I'll be so elated, so happy.